Hello everybody, today is the 10th of the night, and as always we're gonna tell about the pain story. But to start the pain story, I'm gonna start with the weather today first, okay? Actually the weather today is really nice and happy. It feels like a fall is coming already, and I really love it. The breeze, and it's not cloudy, it's not sunny at all. So it just feels very very fall and very nice. So and then when I walk to work, the bushes around my walkway, the pathway is blooming, and it's been blooming the last couple of days. So it is very very beautiful to walk through that. It's just serenity. So that's some brief thing about Hanoi City before we start a pen story, okay? So what is this? It's a pen. What do we use a pen for? To write. Now there is a dog inside the room. I want to wave this in front of the dog. What does the dog do? The dog probably will sniff, lick, or chew this, right? Does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So for the dog, this one is not a pen, but for the human, this one is a pen. So who is correct, the dog or the human? The answer is both are correct. For the dog, this one is a chewing toy, where for the human, this one is a pen to write. The dog is correct in the dog world, the human is also correct in the human world. So that is our first lesson. Both are correct. Now we both now let's imagine that there is a table in front of me. So I'm going to put this thing on the table, and then both the dog and I will walk out the room. So inside the room there be no human, no dog. What does this thing becomes? Is this still a pen or chewing toy? It becomes almost nothing, and the ancient wisdom called this one as the emptiness. The emptiness is actually a very magical definition. As we understand the emptiness, we'll be able to achieve anything in our life, just like Rishi Michael Roach applied the emptiness into his business and was able to build business with revenue $215 million a year. He's also able to help civil refugees. So why is the emptiness? Why is that so magical? So let's go back to the pen story, okay? So this pen is currently on the table. When no dot, then it's come back to a two-separate coin, the emptiness. So the emptiness is not nothingness. It's not no feeling, no black or black or white. It's just by itself, with nothing in no with nothing to interact with. When we have nothing to interact with, just like us when we are by ourselves. We have no one to interact with. We have nothing to interact with. However, to be honest, we always interact with someone, or we always interact with something. Just like what am I doing right now, right? So even though that I'm in the room by myself, I don't interact with anyone. But then I'm actually interacting with you, or interacting with the camera, or I'm sitting on the chair. So I'm always something. So because of that, we always have the potential to become something or anyone, or something or someone, depending on who or what is looking at us at that very moment. So just like the pen. So just like this one, okay? So it is by itself on the in the room. But then as soon as I go back into the room, I look at this becomes a pen. When the dog come back to the room and the dog look at this becomes a chewing toy. And when both the dog and I come back to the room at the very same time, and we both look at this at the very same time, what does this thing becomes? It becomes two things, a pen for me and a chewing toy for the dog. So a single thing, okay? When it is in the room to interact with no one, it come back to yourself and call it the emptiness. But because it has the emptiness, it also has the potential to become anything or anyone, depending on who or what is looking at that at the very moment. So that is our second lesson. Along with the emptiness, we all have limitless potential. Now I see this as a pen. So does this pen coming from me, or does this pen coming from the thing itself? This pen is actually coming from me. Why am I so certain? Because if this thing is a pen, the cell in the dog, or anything in this entire universe, we have to see it for what it is, which is a pen. But does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So this pen is actually coming from me. This pen is actually coming from my mind. Everything is actually coming from our mind. So that is our third lesson. Everything is actually coming from our mind. So this is, so now moving on to the fourth lesson, okay? So we all agree that this pain is coming from my mind, right? So I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to believe this one become a diamond, okay? So please pray with me. Diamond, diamond, diamond. Open my eyes. It's still a pen. So what in my mind that forced me to see this as a pen but not a diamond? There are said inside our mind that the actual wisdom call as karma. When we see something that sits inside our mind pop up, open up, and cover this, and make us see it for what had been planted earlier into our mind. So, who planted those seeds into your mind then? Only you can plant the seed into your mind, and only I can plant the seed into my mind. How can we do it? We do it by three ways: by our word, by our action, by our thoughts, especially toward other people. So for instance, I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to say that I have the pen. We had to have this pen. And when my friend say, yes, please, I'd be so happy to give this to my friend with the hope that I can help my friend. So when I give this to my friend, this palm will open up and both me and my friend will see it. And it start leaving mark in my mind. A couple days later, when I see this, I recognize this one as a pen, which means that the seed of the pen has already been planted into my mind. Now pop up, open up, and cover this, and make me see it for what happened planted body into my mind, which is a pen. And this is how a pen become a pen, and things around us become what and who they are to us. In the pen story, there are several different lessons. Today we went over 4 different lessons. The first lesson is both correct. So we learn to respect each other's opinion. We learn to respect each other's choices. And we learn to listen to each other with a compassionate heart. And with that, I want to stress the importance of listening to yourself, of respecting yourself, and understanding yourself. Because I truly believe that whatever that you do, you have to do it for yourself first. Before you can do it to other people, even with the love, the happiness you have to make sure that you can anchor that into yourself first before you can do it to anyone. And that leads us to the second lesson is that along with the emptiness, we all have limitless potential. So we learn to trust our potential, we learn to trust each other's potential, and we learn to look into that emptiness so we can see the potential in everything that happened to us. And the importance of being able to understand ourselves is that we will be able to accept our emptiness, We see what we truly are without interacting with anyone. And that is when we'll be able to see our potential when we interact with other people. And we'll be able to see that in everyone else as well. And the third lesson is everything is actually coming from the seed inside our mind. So we'll be 100% responsible to whatever happened to us. We don't blame anyone or anything because in the end, we are the only one who can plant the seed into our mind. So that is our third lesson. And that moving on to the fourth lesson is how to create or manifest our dream life in a very certain way. So we start first, we have to know what we want to achieve in our dream life using our word, our passion, our thoughts toward others. So using the second lesson, the emptiness and the potential. And then when we know what we want in our life, then we start using our word, our action, our thought, start planting those seeds to other people. So helping other people to get that, that's it. So for instance, if you want to have happiness, then you have to use your word, your action, your thought, helping other people surround you, being happier. You want to have prosperity, then use your word, your action, your thought, helping other people surround you, being more prosperous. And just like that, whatever that you want, making sure that you use your word, your action, your thought to want other people, helping other people surround you, getting off the thing that you like to have. And that is the best way to plant the seed into your mind. The one thing that you want to stress is that, making sure that you don't making sure that you have the making sure that we plant the seed, but we know that it's gonna come. The seed that we plant gonna come. We're gonna harvest what we plant. However, we don't know when it's gonna plant, when it's gonna stop sprout up. So, just don't think that today I do a good day, tomorrow I'm gonna get the good day. It's not gonna happen that way. It's not the way that karma work. Karma work in a very, there is one truth, is that karma is true. However, when it's actually happened to us, we don't know. So we just work in the belief that when we plan the good is gonna come back to us. Okay, so that is our work lesson. And the lesson I would like to share with you all today is that you can hear from my voice that I'm almost losing my voice now, and actually I have two. I actually have three very important events, two for today and one for tomorrow. And a lot of time I have to use my voice. But I truly hope that I'll be able to use my voice. So I'm actually drink a lot of water right now. And one thing I want to share with you is that even though I feel that like even though that we can say that I'm losing my voice, right? So but then I actually feeling better today than yesterday naturally. So, this actually give me a realization that, the anticipation of what coming up is actually worse than the reality itself. So when I anticipate that I'm gonna get sick, I actually feel it worse than when I actually going through it. Like yesterday, the anticipation, and today is the reality. So this is actually one more term towards the stoicism that I'm actually doing right now. So first is the anticipation. The first is the anticipate and the stoicism teaching us that the suffering is actually what happening to our mind. It's not the reality, but what happening to our mind. So what we put into that will give us whether the suffering or the relief is all coming from us. So thank you everyone for listening to me today. Thank you, Anu, for coming me in the 3,000 Day journey. And by the way, congratulations on sealing the deal with my hospital. I'm very happy for you, and I'm very proud of you as well. And if I may share with you the pain story is something good, I would like to dedicate that to my dearest family, to my friends, to my co-workers, or to any living things in this world, any other world, with love, wisdom, and gratitude. Thank you so much, and I see you tomorrow. Bye bye.